Jr.'s big debut and the latest fallout from Melania's speech. And did Meghan outfox Roger? Did she make sexual harassment allegations that could get Fox Chief Ailes fired? Plus, Oscar winner Julianne Moore is gonna have the ladies seeing red. Get ready for Hot Topics, because The View starts right now with Whoopi, Joy Behar, Candace Cameron Bure, Raven Simone, and Paula Ferris. Now, let's get things started.
To the View, y'all. Welcome to the View. Welcome to the View. Welcome to the View. That was the theme song to the sitcom Laverne and Shirley, and that's only one of the many classics created by Gary Marshall, who passed away last night at 81. He created Happy Days, directed movies like Pretty Woman, Beaches, and was a really funny actor, which people didn't always know. I worked with him in Soap Dish and Jumpin' Jack Flash, which his sister directed. And I'm telling you, funny man.
Yeah,
just you would be crying sitting next to him, and then you'd have to work with him. It was just, he was extraordinary. He was extraordinary, and one of those people who will really be missed, because his sensibility was quite wonderful.
He did Princess Diaries. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Pretty Woman and Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days. And
Beaches.
Yeah. I know.
Oh, that was a tearjerker. Yeah,
That was a great movie. I
just
grew up with
watched
Laverne
that.
and Shirley. I loved it. And Pretty Woman, I'm still waiting for Richard Gere to come get me, so, you know.
Well, that would be another wild moment during, we're having a GOP crazy thing happening, and why wouldn't Richard Gere come and get you? So why not?
It's true.
But during last night, day 2, actually, of the GOP convention, Chris Christie got up and fired the crowd up by putting Hillary Clinton on trial. Take a look.
As to Hillary Clinton, the charge of putting herself ahead of America, guilty or not guilty? In China and Syria, in Iran and Russia and Cuba.
that would come as a shock to Fidel Castro, I think. I don't know what he's
What is he talking about in Cuba? What is she doing in
She
Cuba?
wasn't Secretary of State when the Obama administration decided.
Wake up, honey, wake up! Stop trying to.
I tell you, I found it physically nauseating to watch him.
Why is that?
It was because it was like a witch hunt, and he was rousing the audience into saying, "Lock her up," like just hateful.
It's like a mob mentality.
Like mob mentality against the woman.
He's a former prosecutor. He's auditioning for the Attorney General position, right? I mean, let's be real about that.
Is that how we're going to take care of people from now on if he becomes the Attorney General? 'Cause I don't want to see lock her up. That's not how we do stuff.
He was trying to do that law and order thing, but I'll tell you what was surprising to me is Chris Christie was really the first formidable politician to stand by Donald Trump's side and endorse him. I wanted to hear why he endorsed Donald Trump. And all I heard was lock up Hillary.
Well, that's all they heard the whole night was about
the
that.
convention has been more about Hillary Clinton and what she's not or what she's done than actually any view into what this would look like, who would be surrounding him.
Don't you want to hear
I'd like to hear more.
Yeah,
you want some,
I want a plan.
Where have you been? You've been asking for this since he said he would run. One of the things he said, I'll have people to do it. Well, what are you going to do when you have the people do it?
He's going to make America great again. That's what he's going to do. Can't you read that on his hat?
No, I get that. That's what he's going to do. I'm all for that.
But
I'm all for making America great
There is no how.
This is what.
But how does that? What does that mean? Does
What does
that
it look
mean
like?
lock up all the women? Does it mean eat up all the black people? What does this mean?
Well,
That's what I want to know.
This is what a convention, I mean, love it or hate it. I don't like conventions for this reason, because they don't offer solutions. It doesn't become a reason why you should vote for Republicans or Democrats. This happens on both sides. It becomes, let's attack the other side. The point is to rally the base. This is supposed to get people excited. Not really. I mean, this is but this is a party that's very divided. This convention for Republicans is supposed to unify the people who can't stand Donald Trump with the people who love Donald Trump and make sure that they get out and vote. Christie's speech is what a convention speech should look like if you follow those rules.
That's not what it should look
You're
like.
going to see,
when
though.
I was a kid, that's not what it looked like.
Yeah, but
that's not what it looked like. And it was about, here's what I'm going to do that they're not going to do. That's how I grew up. And I know, you know, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I want to know, if you get in the event that you do get elected, what is your plan?
But that doesn't sell anymore because politics has become so sensationalized, and you'll see it with the Democrats. Most of that convention, I'll bet, is going to be going after Donald Trump because that's what sells.
Well, of course, of course, it's going to be what happens.
But you're right, it shouldn't be.
That's not. Yeah, but that's not what politics was.
And that's not what it should be. I agree with you.
Last night was supposed to be Make America Work Again. I didn't even hear about one job. As a matter of fact, during the Bush administration had very little job growth. Obama, 10-to-1 jobs, and still they're talking about how it was bad.
Yeah, but that's
8 years.
Well, no,
what are they going to do?
It's the lowest unemployment rate we've seen in years.
You can get the unemployment rate down to 0 if enough people leave the labor force. You have to check the labor force participation rate. But his son, Donald Trump Jr., I think was the one person that I did.
Was that the elephant killer or the other one?
No, he brought up the economy.
One of them is an elephant hunter.
It's the big game
Which is the one that's a big game hunter. There are pictures of him posing with big game. That boy.
I couldn't see past that actually when I was listening to his speech, and I know that it was probably very well received, but I couldn't see past the fact that he is a big game hunter, and I found him very unrelatable.
You did?
I really did.
See, I found him to be the relatable version of Paul Ryan. I find Paul Ryan unrelatable oftentimes. He gets wonky, he gets in the weeds. This, I thought he was a good advocate for his dad, and he did. I think, Joy, you're right. You have to talk about the economy and jobs. I think he did that.
Come on. But Jedediah, you were saying how these conventions are about getting everyone together in the modern day. I was kind of expecting with the Make America Work Again that there'd be something about, and we're going to create this many jobs, and everyone would scream. Every time they screamed, it was to bring someone down. Like, it was like, and down with Hillary, and everyone would scream, and I thought, why are we watching?
And also, like, just not really for nothing, the end of 8 years ago, just everybody remember where you were financially 8 years ago, okay? So we had no growth. We were in the toilet 8 years ago. And Obama, with no help, not from his own party, not from the Republican, for no help, managed to pull a rabbit out of his behind.
That has got to hurt.
That has got to hurt. You know, and pull everybody from the brink. Okay, so you want to talk about no jobs? There was no job growth. There was nothing happening before Obama got into office. The last great fiscal time we had was when Clinton left, because we had a surplus.
Well, this is
which the other president got rid of. So when you say you have to look at this and this and this, that's not what people, you know, you can be mad that not enough has happened, but you can't be mad and say nothing has. A lot did happen.
Well, you know, this is why George W. Bush said that he's afraid that he will be the last Republican president, which is quite an incredible thing to say.
I actually think he might be right on that
He
point.
might be right.
What do you think he means?
I think what he means, well, I think if you look particularly, we've talked about this, the social issues in particular. If you look at issues like gay marriage, that's a big issue for millennials. They feel that's a civil rights issue. That's the civil rights issue of their day, and they're fighting for it. I happen to support gay marriage. And I think if the Republican Party doesn't branch out and doesn't do things like proper outreach to women, to African Americans.
You mean like with Omarosa?
Well, not quite. That might be a mistake. mistake, but that's the kind of mistakes when we talked yesterday about
you all know
Steve
that,
King.
that Omarosa is now Donald Trump's outreach community person for the African American community.
The outreach extends to Ben Carson. That's as the reach goes.
Why would he choose Omarosa? I mean, I don't know that she's going to do it.
That's who he knows, and she's black.
And because Meatloaf was busy.
You know, that's who he knows. And Omarosa has been a fan of his from the very, very beginning.
Well, Spike Lee took her to task on Twitter.
I know, but you know,
really
it's the bottom line is that's his outreach. He's one of the few people I can say that I can look on this conservative side that has reached out to anybody of color, ever.
Oh, I'm sorry, Director of African American Outreach. That's her title.
Okay.
All right, doesn't change the fact that she's the only one he knows. We'll be right back.
So look what happens when our convention view heats up.
What is going on?
There's dissent. Let the dissenters speak.
What they're saying is change all the rules last minute.
So, Whoopi, how's our unconventional view?
You would think it couldn't get any better, and yet it does.
Smart, funny, fearless. The place to be heard is The View. All new tomorrow on ABC.
The fallout over Melania's speech continues. The New York Times reports that two former President Bush speechwriters drafted her original speech, which she rewrote with a friend of hers. Now, the campaign has been making plenty of statements defending her, but her husband doesn't seem to have much to say about this.
I mean, the tweet king says nothing. Every little thing he's tweeting about, and this big thing.
That's because
that
it's like
speaks volumes.
It's like the wing it. I call it the wing it campaign. He goes on TV when he does the debates. People always wonder why he's not prepped enough. And the reason is that he gets away with it, that he got to the top by winging it. And I think he thinks he can get away with it here. My concern is that what people always say about Donald Trump is, don't worry about it. He's going to hire the right people. Where are they?
Because Pedro is not the right person.
Manafort, Lewandowski.
That's what I
review this? It's a concern.
Well, I thought what was interesting was that, you know, no one has been held accountable for it. No one has been fired. No speechwriter has been fired. No one in the campaign.
And they say no one is.
And that's what it implies. It implies that Melania actually did it. And I don't think that they can just leave that out.
There's got to be safeguards, though. There's got to be people that process this stuff.
Clearly
a pecking order. Because even those writers said, the writers said, you know, like, we never got the speech back. We sent it out. Someone had to say, before you ever step onto a platform and say anything that reflects the campaign,
your husband should have said that. Your husband should have had your back. Sorry, your husband should have had your back. And he should have checked. He should have, because you know what? I got all over Jeb Bush for not taking care of his wife. I'm getting all over you now, Donna. You left your wife hanging out there. And she didn't have to be left out there, but you left her out there. And this idea that nobody knows what happened and you keep trying to pretend like there wasn't an issue. If y'all had just said, you know what, damn, we didn't even realize it. This would be nothing.
No, but that wouldn't work.
But you can't do that, see, because you can't even clean it up. That's why we haven't heard from you. But there's nothing you can say.
Well, I don't think that would have worked anyway, because everybody knows that it's copied. It's when you put the two sides to side.
I disagree, though.
It's identical.
I think
Word is bond?
No, it was plagiarized, but I think people are forgiving. I remember when Joe Biden, I don't know if you remember, he plagiarized that whole speech. He had to drop out of the presidential race.
And we're still talking about it.
Yes, but you know what? People forgave him, and he went on to have a successful career.
And he said, "This is I messed up."
Yeah, I feel like
learn to say I'm sorry. Say I'm sorry.
If they had come out right away and said, you know, this is awful.
Blaming it on Melania.
Maybe Melania should come out and say, I did this. I admired what Michelle Obama said.
Is in the witness protection program right now. Forget about it.
You know?
She ain't coming out.
It's not okay to point fingers at other people. They blamed, they said, oh, maybe Michelle got it from My Little Pony. Maybe she got it from, I mean, stupid stuff. Which you want to say, listen, man, you're running for the highest office in the land, and you can't say, you know what? I think my wife might have made a mistake.
Yep, that's true.
Did you know that there was plagiarism software available?
Yes.
Yes.
See, his campaign is in such disarray, so disorganized, with no infrastructure, that there's nobody there to say to him, you can check to see if you're copying
people there
anything.
to say. People have said to him, listen, you can't go out like this. You've got to know what you're doing.
Lewandowski might have been able to tell him that. Manafort seems a slightly brain dead, but Lewandowski might have said, listen, you better check that.
Yeah.
He's
So
the
he's
one
not-
saying
and
now,
they
like
got rid of him.
Manafort should come out and
should
take credit and like.
Yeah, let's
He's
just
gonna get.
let's get off these people because it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Please. You know, y'all got other stuff to do with the rest of your day. Let's get off of this. Get on to the important stuff like this. Lady Gaga shared a post with her fans about her relationship with Taylor Kinney. Do y'all know who Taylor Kinney is?
No.
He's so hot.
Who is he?
I
Oh
don't
my
know.
gosh, he's in NYC.
About the man she's with right now.
Oh, yes, I know him.
You know.
Yeah.
And she wrote something like this, like all couples, we have ups and downs and we're taking a break. And she asked fans, please root us on, dare put us down.
He's on Chicago
So
Fire.
I guess the question is, okay, I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even know what the question is, but is the question like, should you care if other people are taking a break if it doesn't affect your life? Or should you care that she's taking a break and she's got lots of money and so does he and they don't really care what you think? What is the question
I
here?
care a little.
I don't.
They're really cute. They post some really sweet posts. They also have 2 dogs. This is what where my heart goes right away because we need to think about what matters right now, and that's the kids.
That's right.
It's the fur babies. Miss Asia Kenny and Koji are both French bulldogs, and I'm really worried just about how they're gonna. I hope they don't split them up, and that I hope they end up with the right parent. I think they should go with the mother, and I'm okay for every other weekend and holidays. I am totally fine with that, but I just want to put that out there. Joy?
Very nice. I think that's right. I agree with that.
I will say, you know, they do post wonderful things, and she says that she believes that they're soulmates. And I just wonder,
Who, her and the dogs, or her and the husband?
And the husband. Or that, no, well, the
Not
fiance.
married.
Oh, they're not
Fiance.
married.
Not
Will
married.
absence
so
make,
it's not
like, I'm
happy.
always interested in people that take breaks. Like, will absence make the heart grow fonder, or will they really get back together?
Never works for me.
The breaks
Never
haven't-
works
yeah.
for me.
Why?
It doesn't, because I feel like when I'm really in something and I want to fix it, I stay to fix it. Once I offer up the break option, it means my mind is elsewhere. I'm looking for space from that person, and it leads me to either my own little single stage or onto somebody else who's giving me what that person wasn't giving me.
I end up watching
So it's
Bridget Jones
distance
and going
that-
right back. So
Yeah.
I know. Just go
I think it's a
go right
good
back.
way to segue out of the relationship without actually saying it, without making that horrible thing of, I'm going to be alone.
It's less traumatizing.
You say, let's take a break. I'll live in this apartment. You live in this one. And then you find your roots, you find your pilings, and you meet another guy, and then it's bye-bye.
Right. It's a breakup.
That's a good way to go.
It's a code word for a
breakup, but
breakup.
it's not as painful
But maybe
as
you
a
miss
break.
each other. Maybe you miss
And if you miss each other,
I'm
good.
segueing. We're getting out of this topic too because I can't take it. We'll be right back. So welcome back. It is being reported that Megyn Kelly told investigators that she also had been sexually harassed by her boss, Roger Ailes, and encouraged another colleague to come forward as well. You know, is this a nail in the coffin of Roger Ailes?
Oh, yes.
This is really bad.
This is it. What was interesting to me from the very beginning is that Gretchen Carlson only sued Roger Ailes. She didn't sue Fox News. She didn't sue the parent company, 21st Century
Didn't
Fox.
she implicate
And
Steve Viducci?
She did, but she didn't sue him. And that implies to me, most people try to go for the deep pocket, so they sue everyone. She didn't do that. That told me that it was very personal to her.
Her husband has deep pockets. She doesn't need the money.
But it meant that it was personal. No, but it meant
you always like your crazy aunt. You're just like, she doesn't need it. But it's fine.
I think it really struck a chord, though, that she wanted him to be held responsible. And now the fact that the superstar of the network, Megyn Kelly, is saying the exact same thing it's got to be over for them. They've got to take that extremely seriously. Because if you think about it, in terms of sexual harassment, I mean, only 29% of women report sexual harassment. 71% don't. And that is really significant. That kind of thing has got to stop.
Mostly you let it go. I mean, if it happens to me when I was young, and you just let it go. You don't even, you just sort of deal with it yourself. You say, yeah, right, or something, you know, like I'm interested in you.
Yeah. So, but
you know, I mean, you deal with it. But if it's your boss, you can't. You can't. If it's your boss, and so that's why.
Apparently they could. Well, because they dealt with it for a long time. Yeah. It's...
No, I mean you don't sue them so easily if it's your boss. I'm saying is a problem.
But you also
because you want
to
keep their job.
If you do this.
Like Megyn Kelly, this is a 10-year-old thing that she brought out now, and Ann Coulter is like, how come she waited so long and she had a great career because Roger Ailes helped her? Well, now they asked her.
Yeah. Well, when you do it, you not only lose your job, but you then have the scarlet letter on you wherever you go. People are like, that's the girl that sued.
And that's disgusting. I mean,
it's hard to get another job.
Yeah. You say that Gretchen Carlson, you know, her husband has a lot of money, but what about the single mom with kids that's getting sexually harassed, and she can't quit that job?
Exactly.
She needs that job.
Well, Gretchen stayed too for a while because she wanted the job.
She wants the job.
Yeah, but maybe we need to change. Well, but maybe if we didn't make it so easy.
Yeah.
You know.
How do you change it?
How do you change it?
That's the thing is, I don't know. I feel like
you make it impossible. You make it impossible for someone to get fired for saying this person is bothering me. You make that against the law.
Well,
you make that against the law.
But even if they they're treated differently.
No, because again, you know, listen, we didn't have the vote, and then we got the vote in the rest of America in 1968. You have to start somewhere.
Well, there are
and if we don't make it easy, and you know, this has been my, and I'm going to say this has been my bitch forever, because I feel if we don't make it so easy for people to continue crappy behavior, because you know nobody's going to say anything, or they're too scared. If you know that going in, change the law.
Well, there are policies in place. There are HR policies in place.
HR works for the company you work for.
That's true. But in most offices, you go to the HR director and you say, I'm being harassed, and they can't fire you for that. But to Sarah's point, they can make it more difficult for you, and I think that's why women are reluctant to come forward.
You have to change the law. You have to change the law. HR should not be a company that works for the company. Because they're going to look out for the company. They're not looking out for you. And I don't mean this any bad news to people from HR, but you do work for the company.
Well, they get paid by the company.
Well, but they should not get paid by the company. There should, HR, in my opinion, my little meek, crazy opinion, should be an independent body that can take a look at what's going on and say, hey, we see this too.
I have to read this statement. Attorney Susan Estrich for Roger Ailes told ABC News that he never sexually harassed Megyn Kelly. She also told ABC News that while there have been proposals discussed, at this point there is no exit agreement in place.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's denying it.
Yeah. He's denying what? That there's an exit agreement, that he's going?
That he sexually harassed Megyn Kelly.
Okay. Well, what else is he going to say?
Well, it's he said, she
what else is he going to say?
If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, quack, quack.
I think ultimately, like with this stuff, the truth comes out. You know, I spoke to my experience with him. I've had, you know, no issues with Megyn.
You said he was like a father to you.
He was, I've never, it's foreign to me, but that's only my experience. And I feel like in these cases, whatever the truth may be, it's going to come out, and there's consequences to that kind of behavior.
It's smart not to harass every woman on the staff. That way you have a few people who say you're not a harasser.
Well, Jedediah, just so you don't feel as special, he was a father to me, too. We'll be right back. Oh, yeah, he loves me. Yes, I might look like I'm smirking, but for a very good reason. More millennials are getting on board with the trend I've been practicing for years, going braless. Not because they're making some kind of feminist statement, but because it's more comfortable. Now, there have been people on this panel, I won't point, or say who, but who thought this was a horrifying idea. And what did you learn?
Well, I thought
Yes.
that
Tell 'em what you thought,
wearing
tell
a
'em what you
bra prevented sagging. And I wear a 32 double D.
Well, thank you for sharing.
I'm gonna out myself. I got the bazookas, and I've had them since I was 12. And I'm always worried that they're gonna go down here, so I wear a bra all the time, even to bed. It's a myth. Wearing a bra does not help prevent sagging.
Okay?
Wow.
No, it doesn't.
Okay?
No, but
Damn. No, it doesn't.
And Whoopi's been telling me this forever,
Yes.
and I didn't believe her.
but the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
That's my point.
That's a fact.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. What will make your chest fall, and this should never be an excuse not to do it, but one of the things that does help your breast go down is breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Because of the
Ding,
motion.
ding.
But, and you end up with Snoopy on your chest. Sometimes that happens. But, for the most part, if you treat your body well, the girls don't start to fall or slide down like the rest of you. Because stuff, the older you get, stuff changes. Your butt widens. Sometimes it drops. You can't tell because so many people get stuff done. But if they hadn't gotten stuff done, stuff would be sliding a little to the side, and you're widening out.
But you can't run without the bra.
No, you have to.
Can't,
I feel like, though,
you can't work
Some
out
people
without.
can. You
no.
can't.
We have
No,
a-
I can't.
No.
We have a
Not with
post.
those.
I think it's a tweet from Lonely. Braless might be cute in the short term, but if you train those gems to sag too early, they'll be knocking your knees before 30.
I'm telling you, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Most people believe that that gravity does it to you, but your body will hold the girls up themselves. You meet lots of folks who have not worn bras. Women with small breasts don't need a lot of hold up.
That's
if you got a lot of, if you're a runner, you do want to, because you don't want to get hit in the face. Because there you go, boom.
I believe, though, that the feminists did want to take them off for comfort reasons. It was not necessarily a feminist statement, meaning I want to be comfortable.
If you go into a store and you look at, I've been jealous. I used to say I want to be a man in my next life, because I would go in and guys' clothes always look more comfortable. The baggy jeans. There's no restriction. That when I got home, I used to, and I'm small, I'm tiny on top, but I used to take it off and I used to wave it around like I was some sort of doing a victory lap. Because it's just like freedom, And I think as women, we're afraid sometimes to say, I want to be comfortable. I don't want to put my makeup on. I don't want to have this strapped in corset.
I don't know what it even feels like to just have them hanging out.
But it seems to have gone. But since the feminist movement, it seems to have gone backwards, because now everybody spanks in.
Yeah, we've
which
gotten
is
forward.
well, we used to wear those
Yeah.
long-legged panty girdles, which were like a harness. They were horrifying.
With those, remember with the hold up the stockings with the girdles and the
but the long-legged panty girls made your knees look fat.
Yeah, because it just pushes it
Pushes
down.
everything
all the
down.
blood.
Now
But
your knee has a
nowadays,
chin.
girls are even more restrained than they were. So we've really gone backwards. The higher heels, the more restrained, the tighter the bra, all
But
that.
it's also because if you're small, like there's push-up, there's decorative stuff to
But
make you
because
look like
that's
you.
what and feminists, I don't know. My mother couldn't afford to burn her bra. She couldn't afford it. Okay, so maybe that's what it took. But to me, if you care about your body. If you care about your body, you don't let other people talk you into wearing stuff that doesn't feel right. I know we have to say goodbye. Bye. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Julianne Moore, and I'm here to talk about my latest Freckle Face Strawberry book. Freckle Face Strawberry is a little girl with red hair and freckles. Can you guess who I based her on?
Tomorrow is Donald's big night in Cleveland, and Paula hits the convention live.
You never know what's going to happen.
We've got your unconventional view right here, and we're pulling out all the stops.
Watch this show.
It's an all-new must-see view tomorrow on ABC.
Oscar-winning actors, a best-selling children's author, fellow natural redhead. Yeah. Please welcome back the beautiful, the talented, the lovely Julianne Moore. We love having you. You know, Julianne has been on the show many, many times. So
Many
I feel like I
times.
know you so well.
I
but-
started watching the show when it first aired in 1997
Yeah.
when my son was born. I used to sit on the couch nursing him and watch TV all day long. And he's 18. He's going to college now.
And you know,
That's how many years. He's 18.
Wow.
He's 18, yeah. Going to college in a month.
and the other one is 14.
14, yeah, she's
And,
14.
you know, I was wondering, do they watch your movies? I saw The End of the Affair with Ralph Fiennes. Hello.
Oh, yeah. No, they didn't see
They
that.
haven't
No.
seen that. How do you know?
No, well, I think I don't. Well, I do. I know only because they're not particularly interested. They've never been that interested in my movies. I don't think anybody really cares about what their mother does for a living.
They don't.
But my mom's not Julianne Moore.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
No, but they don't. You know, because we went to a thing. I got an award, like a film award, and people encouraged me to bring my family. We all sat at a table, and they show all these clips from my movies, and I realized they'd never seen any of them.
Yeah.
Had no reference for any of them. And my daughter said to me, "Who are you when you leave the house?"
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. It was fun.
I think
yeah.
they will watch them eventually.
Oh God,
yeah.
I hope not.
Did you watch the convention last night?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
I thought that it was negative and distasteful, and I was really ashamed.
Julianne, one thing I
Yeah.
know your kids saw you in. You recently
Yeah.
did an episode of Billy on the Street.
Yes, that's right.
Hilarious.
Thank
We
you,
have a clip
thanks.
of it. Basically, you went around and you acted for people
Yeah.
for money.
Right.
We have to take a look at this. It's amazing.
Yeah.
She's gonna act for you for the money.
I love it. How did that happen?
I met Billy on Twitter. I was following his friend Julie Klausner because I thought she was funny, and then she was following him, and they would message back and forth, so I started following him too. And he basically, you know, DM'd me and said, "Would you be on my show?" And I was like, "Okay." And then I told Julie I would be on Difficult People, and yeah, so you never know who you meet on Twitter.
You don't.
Yeah,
It's true.
you could get a job. Yeah, I got it.
Cry on demand like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah,
actress.
yeah, yeah.
But not everyone can do that. No, I used to have trouble with
It's
that.
amazing.
Yeah,
isn't it,
yeah.
how
You don't do it for a living.
That's right, yeah. But doing it in Times Square.
Doing
that
it in
was
Times
the.
Square is happening.
But there was $1 at stake.
There was a dollar.
So you don't even really have to think of something sad, do you? It's like so easy for you.
I think it's a skill. Well, generally when you're working in a movie, there's more involved.
Right.
But this is a little bit like a party trick, and yeah, you can kind of do that. Yeah.
It's a trick.
So, baby, you're also a New York Times bestselling author with Freckle-Faced Strawberry series.
you.
The new book is called Freckle-Faced Strawberry and the Really Big Voice.
Yeah.
Tell us about the
really big voice. So it's sort of about the transition from summer to back to school. And they're the voices that you use in the summertime and on the playground that are really, really big. And then you go to school and things are a little bit different. So this one child, her friend, has difficulty controlling his voice. And he's loud in places he's not supposed to be loud. And he eventually becomes very, very quiet until he finds a place where he can use his voice. But so I wanted it to be, I try to write, you know, from the perspective of kids this age. What looms large? What are the important things? You know, how do you relate to your friends and your teachers and your school and whatever? And yeah, the end. It's short. It's a very quick read.
But it's a great read. It's a great read.
This whole series is fun. How many of these do you have?
There are 4 picture books,
Yeah.
and there are 4 early readers as well.
Yeah.
Well, before you leave, we want to have a little fun with you. So we're going to do a quick lightning round. So I'm going to ask you questions, and if you can answer as quickly as possible, okay?
Okay.
Last person you texted.
My husband,
Celeb you've never met but want to.
Raven Simone. Where is she?
Latest obsession.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, plastic Birkenstocks.
Wow. Last show you binge watched.
Wimbledon.
First job.
A frozen yogurt place.
Guilty pleasure.
Fried food. Yeah.
Biggest biggest fear.
Sports.
Favorite movie.
Rosemary's Baby.
Style icon.
Yeah.
Style icon.
The Olsen twins.
And biggest achievement.
My family.
Yes. You know, I think your next book could be
Yes.
Rosemary's Freckle-Faced Baby.
That's a great idea.
The Burke is
at the table.
Oh my God. So there are these new ones that are plastic that are just like that. And my friend Marcus, who's backstage, who did my hair, is wearing them, and I can't get them in women's sizes. So that's what I'm looking for those. Yeah.
Well, let us help.
Yeah.
Joy.
Yeah, so thanks to you for coming, Dawn. We love you. Julianne Moore, members of our audience are going home with their new book, Freckle Face.
I wonder if the rubber ones feel like jelly shoes.
So I'm gonna help our friend Julianne Moore out. Hey, Birkenstock. Julianne Moore's trying to find the plastic Birkenstocks. She's size 36. Help a bitch out. Help her find your stuff. You know, because she's wonderful. And we do love her. And they are great. I have a pair, but help her get a pair. Come on, she shouldn't have to come to us to get some Birkenstocks from y'all. But everybody else, we want you to get the Birkenstocks too, but we want you to have a great day and take a little time to enjoy whatever view you happen upon.